who live and die, they won't see the Biafran army, a soldier from the Biafran army. Police will not carry any guns. So the Prime Minister of Biafra cannot send somebody and say, go to Ogoni village and conquer them. You cannot even send the army to do anything without the part. In fact, you can't even try. So we are going to have something very unique, a unique blend of what you have in UAE and what you have in Switzerland. And freedom. Freedom is the watchword, freedom.
Thank you very, very much, my lord, for that answer. I believe my comrade Idudu Oviemuna also has a question for you from the grassroots. So we are going to quickly take that before we take the next question from a participant here. Over to you, Idudu Oviemuna.
Yeah, thank you very much. My leader, I have a question for you, although the question is not coming from me, it's from the grassroots people who happen not to be present, but they want the question to be answered. The question is this. Of course, you have answered in so many of your programs before, but at least I want you to repeat it again. The question goes this way. Will you be president of Biafra? If you are not the president of Biafra, how will you be sure the Biafra government will not drift away from your vision of Biafra? Thank you very, very much, my leader.
Thank you, Lord. I will not be, because the same God, Almighty in heaven, has been leading us so far. There are people like you. Some of you are very bright and brilliant. I don't care if you're 18 years of age, if you're 19. Some of you have talents that you don't even know that you have. I don't care how young you are. You know, the only thing I have is a ceiling on age. I'm not against very elderly people, because we all be old one day. But all of you have unique talent, and all of you are more than capable. If you can fight the zoo, if you can stop if with the limited resources you have, you can fight the zoo to a standstill, I see no reason why any of you here gathered today cannot be the president or prime minister of Biafra. My job is to restore Biafra. Then how it is run is up to you people to make it happen. I won't be. They will put in the guideline and the constitution and everything will be in place, not to allow you to misbehave. Then you'll get all the support that you need. Thank you.
Yeah, we go to take another question from one of the comrades in the screen. So, Onajite, please, probably you have to make the screen a little bit neutral so we can pick up the name. As a hand over to comrade Samuel Tony. Thank you very much.
Yes, we could take our comrade A.B. Jacob, Mr. A.B. Jacob. Mr. A.B. Jacob, can you ask your question?
Yes, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Yes. Good evening. My name is Mr. A.B. Jacob. I am an IPOB family member based in London, the United Kingdom. I am a Biafran Ijaw. I'd like to welcome you, our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And here is a great opportunity to discuss with you, have you on this forum for the first time. You're welcome, sir. Here is what I have to say. As you've rightly acknowledged from the onset, in most of your speeches, you allude to the fact that Biafra land encompasses a far wider family unit, more than people had hitherto understood, as a limited perception of Biafra being for the Igbos alone. In fact, you've on various occasions acknowledged our common cultural, historical, and ancestral ties. Now that, and besides, you've done so much to sensitize the people in that light and to bring us to the fore of this reality facing us today, that we are not only one family, but also we are people united in a common struggle. Now, given the existential threat we face today, in the light of the onslaught by Fulani headsmen, it is right to say that this threat not only affects the Igbos, but also affects what you have rightly described as the wider Biafran family. So in a nutshell, we have the Ijors, we have those from other parts of Isoko land, Orobo land, and so on and so forth, who are also not only oath-taking members, but equally people who are contributing their dues to the Biafran cause. My question is this, and it is more or less a revisit to what has been asked previously, but it's just that it is in a slightly different context. Isn't it high time, our leader, that you extend by implication and taking into account the fact that this security threat has spread to the coastal regions? Isn't it time that you also extend the services of ESN to these coastal parts of Biafra land? There's no gainsaying, if I put that in context. There is no gainsaying. People pay money, their monthly dues. Yet, the issue of extending security to them is suspended simply on grounds that they don't have enough men in ESN. How would you address this question?
Thank you very much, Ebi. And after this conversation, I want the details. We'll continue this conversation later. We are going to send ESN to every part of Biafra land. But even if you're sending a force into an area, we need to be received. We need people on the ground to receive ESN in their domain. We don't want to be fighting the Fulani Janjaweed and also fighting ourselves as well, because the traditional ruler will say, oh, who invited them, who asked them to come? So the fact of the matter remains, I know that there are Biafrans all over the world paying their dues. Every part of Biafra land is in IPOB. I know that for sure. And nothing will give me greater happiness than to have ESN operating. We have our volunteer command in Bayelsa State, for instance. Bayelsa command can extend men and material to where help is needed. To be honest with you, why that is not happening is what I'm going to investigate after this very conversation this evening. But what you need to bear in mind is that the reason why I said we must continue this conversation after this, if you tell me where there are, basically the assignment I'm giving all of us here gathered is this: get all the names of us in all the areas that the Fulanis are in that needs to be flushed out. At least I can talk to them and say to them, we are coming, so that we don't take them by surprise. I don't know if that answers the question. We want to be everywhere. We have command everywhere. We have men under arms everywhere. So it's just to deploy them to the area to start working, and I will make sure that from tomorrow we begin to do that. All I need are the names of the paramount rulers so I can get their permission to say we are coming in, and we are coming in to grab these people away, and nothing more, nothing less. It is not about Biafra at this stage, because before Biafra will come, there'll be a referendum. Everybody will be asked. If you're Isoko, we ask you, do you want Isoko to be part of Biafra? Do you want Ogoni to be part of Biafra? Do you want Izon to be part of Biafra? Do you want Efik to be part of Biafra? Ibibo to be part of... We must ask all these questions. So if Joe doesn't want to be part of Biafra, all well and good, but for now, we must drive away the Fulani Janjaweed. I agree with you. There are Biafrans from cities in IOQ family all over the world, and we are going to prevail. Get me the names of the paramount leaders and movement in Nnamdi.
Just 1 point, sir. Can I say something?
Of course you may, yes.
Yes. I must give you not only my unalloyed support. In fact, I belong to the IPOB Lewisham family in London.
Lewisham, okay.
Lewisham family, yes. Okenwachugo Biayon is my coordinator. He's a very lovely man. They received me very well. I am their secretary, and they are treating me very well. I'm very happy with IPOB. What I just mentioned is not your fault at all. It is not easy when you are at the helm of affairs, and some people are not doing what they are supposed to do. You've done your best, and I'm very proud of you. Unfortunately so, some people are using their, their status using their status wrongly. In other words, they don't bring information to you. It's not your fault. I give a very good example. During the COVID crisis, you were very, very instrumental in extending your services to every part of Biafra land. Everybody knows this. So if it comes to ESN, we all know you will not mince words. You will not refrain from helping us with the required support. I will do as you said. I will go and make a gathering of as much information as I can. See areas where in parts of the coastal region where there are problems with the Fulanis and where we need ESN support.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll do
Thank
my
you very much.
Yes.
Please,
Yes.
Uchenna, can you get Ebi's details, please? Details and all the rest of it.
Yes. Yes. Master B, if you could give your details so we can move on to the next person.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is it my number you want, or you want my number?
Yeah, just give Uchenna your number, that's all.
Okay, all right. +44, you know the UK code. +44, which stands.
You can just type it. You just type it as a text on this conversation.
Yes, I'm not very good on. Although I have a phone, not so much of a modern character. Where do I type it?
You will see chat at the bottom of your screen. You see there are two messages there.
I can see chat. Yes, I can see.
Click on it and then type your number.
Okay, sir. All right. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Before we release our data, because of course,
yes. All right.
We have a lot of people in the backstage who are willing to be a partaker of this very program, including our royal fathers. Some of them, due to, shall I say, the age, and I think they're gotten tired and something like that. But we still have some of our people, because of the network, whereby they were unable to connect due to the network in the contraption. And these are very important, also important stakeholders, which really, call for this very gathering. And of course, like I said earlier, of course, the program will still continue. The discussion, or should I say, of course, the discussion will still continue. But before then, I have a caller here, and I have one of the representative here. Please, what is your name? Tell the world your name, and quickly ask your question. 2 minutes, please.
Thank you very much. It is my pleasure. My name is Ajuruchi Ogonda Iruno. I am from a town called Rumokrosi. Rumokrosi is in Obiabo local government area of Igocha State. I am from Igocha State. I am not from River State because Igocha is the name. My honor. That's what I used to call you, and I was going to call you because I have gone far. Last question. The first question is this. The great people are in Huraha, the name is when Huraha, but the I now know who I am and where I come from. The question is, they are particular people, not property. There are evil brothers who talk so much that because of the target of property. Please, my heavenly leader, without looking at I want you to elaborate and state the correlation. That is one. Two, they are telling me or saying that the Igbos will chase them out from their land if eventually Biafra emerges. They also want to know what's that with this question, because I know this program will not, and I have a lot to unleash. Thank you, my able director.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The line was very faint for me here. Can somebody please kindly tell me what Chinda was saying? Summarize it for me so I can hear it, please. The moderator, one of the moderators, can you summarize for me?
Okay, thank you very much, sir. What he was saying is that the Ikwere people are afraid that if Biafra should come, that the Igbo, of course we all are Igbo, that the Igbo we chase them out of the land due to you know what happened during the war. That the people, the main owner of the land was chased out, whereby the Ikwere people took over all the properties. So the question of my brother here is the fear of the Ikwere people, and according to him, the question that came from the palace, that the fear of the Ikwere people was that they will be chased out of their land for their Igbo brothers to take over.
The same fear that the brothers of Joseph had when there was famine in Israel and they went to Egypt, where Joseph became a governor and was doing very well. Did that work out that way? Of course not. We are one blood, one family. There is, I don't, you know, people have all these appendages. Ogoni, it's on all these names. People, I can trace their ancestry. I know where you come from. I know the family where you come from. It's not somebody telling me he's from Asaba and he's a Niger Delta from Asaba, which is used to be Ahaba. That is the name. We forgive ourselves every blessed day. Everybody made mistakes during that very war. Even before the war, mistakes were made from all sides. We are all responsible for what happened. Are we going to dwell on it forever and ever? Of course not. From the Constitution of Biafra, it will be spelled out very, very clearly. It was my intention before, and still remains, that if Guacha should be, of course, now Igoromiko is making a very big argument for it, should be the capital of Biafra. We will be so busy building and rebuilding. What are the houses we have in Guacha? Have you not seen how Hong Kong is built? Go and get a picture of Singapore and see it. That is the type of, are you telling me that we are fighting and dying every day? So to have another useless African country in Biafra, God forbid. We are going to build beautiful houses. There will be no time. We are going to be so busy working, there will be no time for even anybody to think about revenge. What's to be revenge? We have made mistakes during the war. Are we dead? They killed us 5 million, yet we went to the north. Some people still marry Fulani people. But they are the ones that killed 5 million of us. What did some people from Ukraine land take? It's only house. How about those that took life? Please, we are one people. And in a new Biafra, from our constitution, you will know there will be no room or space for any of this nonsense. Because, as I told you, go and look at the United Arab Emirates model. You cannot go from Dubai to go to Doha and tell them what to do unless you have somebody from Doha inviting you. Before you go to Ogoniland to invest, in fact, you must have a representative who is Ogoni, that owns part of that business as they're doing today in Dubai. That's what they do. We know what we are doing. There'll be no room or space for that. Heaven forbid. Because we are all one people. Ikwere is Igbo. I can tell you where you come from if you're lost. I know where Ogoni comes from. Ken Sarawi is Wiwa. That is the, forget about all these useless discussions.
Let me tell him now.
We are one people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my
text me his name.
We also have a question from His Royal Majesty, God's will, God's power, Oporomo, the Tara of Eza Kerem Biri is asking a very simple question here, where it says, will Biafra speak one language like Igbo language, or will they continue will they continue speaking the slave language, English?
In Biafra land, we are going to every parliament. Let me repeat. People should listen to me very carefully, please. Every nationality. I will give example with Ogoni, for instance, because or Ijon, Ijo will have Ijo parliament. Ijo will have Ijo premier. It is up to Ijo people to decide which language the legislature will use. For the purposes of running a viable new nation, we'll use English for the first few years. But we have in CBD. We are going to refer, this is something that people don't know, that before the white man came, many years, even before Britain was formed, we had our own language. We had our own way of writing. It's called in CBD. It united the whole of Biafra together. One language, go and investigate it. It came from a Jagan people of present-day Cross River State. The same people, the same family that you have Arochukwu, you have Abreba, you have Ohafia, you have Item. In fact, the entire band. The same people, the same language, the same code of writing. We'll go back to go and develop it. And then we are going to appoint top linguists from all the clans and nations of Biafra land. We'll lock them up somewhere for 10 years to produce a lingua franca. We'll then start teaching our children. The same thing that Israel did. The Hebrew you're hearing today is a modern construct. It is not as old as Israel. So this is something we must understand. Everybody, nobody can force anybody. I can't even, if I speak Ibeku dialect now, I can assure you that somebody from Isukwato cannot understand what I'm saying. And we want it to be like that. We want to respect that diversity. We must have Ogoni language. We must have any of the language from Isoko language will be there. Isekiri language will be there. It is not going to change. But in terms of lingua franca, and let me tell you, if our children are raised to speak up to 3 languages, it makes them more intelligent. They will learn the local dialects, regardless of where they come from. If they are from Bini, they will learn from economic, they will learn Bini language. They will also learn the overall Biafran language that will emerge after 10 years, which will comprise of the language of everybody's language will be in it, this lingua franca. And finally, they will learn English language that will then use to get us there, because the whole world, or should I say, the civilized world speaks English. So that's what we're going to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my leader. Quickly, before the mic will be passed back to the moderator, we quickly want us to quickly welcome Elder Pereke. Please, Elder, can you unmute yourself, sir? Can you unmute yourself, my elder? Can you hear me? Elder, can you hear me? Okay, let me quickly go back to my moderators. Please bring in other people.
I would like to bring in the next speaker. I believe Mr. Julius. Mr. Julius, can you unmute yourself and ask your question? Thank you very much.
Greetings. Hello. Greetings all over the world. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
We can
Hello.
hear you. You can ask your question.
Greeting all over the world. My question is, what is the guarantee of the Biafran and the guarantee of the safety of the Biafrans? The safety of the Biafrans. That is my question.
Safety in which aspect, please? Yeah. Julius, please, I would like you to make it very, clear so that our leader will know where to handle your question. What are the guarantee of the safety of the Biafrans? In which aspect?
Hello, what I'm asking, if the Biafran comes, the safety of the people is what I'm asking for, because for now, the Northerners, it's like they are taking over everywhere. Then when people have that interest of, say, this thing will come, what is their guarantee?
Of course, our leader is here to answer your question. I believe he heard you loud and clear. Najite, please put our leader on the screen. Thank you.
I'm here. Please go ahead.
Yeah, my leader, according to the question of Elder Julius Chukwuyem, he was asking that what will be the safety, or should I say, what is the assurance for Biafra safety? Because right now, the Fulani have taken over almost in Biafra land. That what is our safety as we speak?
Is he having doubts that Biafra may not come as a result of the presence of Fulani terrorists in our forests?
Sorry, sir, if I may quickly add this, because I have a very similar question from His Royal Majesty, Akpabio. So I am having a question similar to that, and the fear was that some people are still afraid that maybe Biafra is not going to make it, or that is exactly what this Royal Majesty is saying. And in his question, he also asked, they want the presence of the representative of IPOB to come to his kingdom, that they have strong and agile youth, both men and women, who are ready to die for the freedom of their people.
Then you speak to, I'm sure His Royal Majesty is listening to me. Pass the details of His Royal Majesty to my secretary, and I will make such arrangements. I don't want anybody to have any doubt. The reason why Biafra is not here is because we are not united. If Ibibio, Efik, everybody from Ogoja all the way to Kalabari, we have to be together. How can Fulani stop us? We are the ones holding ourselves. We are the ones stopping ourselves from becoming free. Once we are united, they can't do anything. But we start this process, somebody goes, collects money from the back, goes behind the village, gets a snap for them, goes to newspaper and starts to talk anyhow, and then the whole thing collapses. If we are united, nobody can stop, nobody can. We don't even need to wait for up to 4 weeks. Can you imagine if we're all united from Igodomi all the way to Bakassi? Who will stop us? Who is the person that will stop us? No force on us. So we are the ones holding ourselves. And Biafra is going to come. And I'm going to send people high-level emissary to His Royal Majesty so that we can take it on from there. But Biafra is coming. It doesn't matter what we do. God has ordained it and it is coming. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my leader. Thank you very much. I think I should quickly pass it back to my co-moderators. Please take the mic.
Imiate Asawo for taking that question from His Royal Highness. I'd like to call on Mr. Tenny to give his own question so we can get this along, because there are other grassroots questions that we need to ask. So, Mr. Tenny, can you unmute yourself and ask your own question? Thank you very much.
Sorry, I think Mr. Tenny just left. The network from the zoo is very disturbing. So,
as we all know, sir,
they are complaining. Some cannot even log into the app. So it is, and this very app is a very simple one whereby you don't disturb concerning network. So I believe the network is very disturbing. So I would rather say let us go to Comrade Onyedike. Please let Comrade Onyedike take the mic before the other people comes in.
Okay, Comrade Onyedike, can you unmute yourself and ask your question? Thank you very much, sir. Asawa, if Mr. Ogunda is not with us, we can move our head to the grass.
You can write the question. You can write the question as a text.
Yes, or he can write down the question in a private chat and we can get this out. I would like to take the next question. This is, I believe, is from the Ikwere part. They said, will Ikwere and Anioma be part of the Allied nation if in Biafra, or will they be their own separate states? My leader, so yeah, this is to you. Will Ikwere and Anioma be part of the Allied nation in Biafra, or will they be their own separate states? Imiete Soye.
It is something that they right now they'll be separate, and then it's for their legislature to decide what they do after that. The people will decide if they want to be part of the wider Igbo family, Igbo nation, or if they want to be alone. But what I find anyway, we have crossed that. The referendum will be done on the basis of Anioma. We'll treat Anioma as a separate entity. Equally the same thing. Then they decide for themselves what they want to do. We don't want to have anybody accuse anybody of visibly, inducting them into something they're not aware of. Because Biafra is going to be a land of democracy. Oh, yeah. We are going to ask Equatorial people: do you want to be part? Do you want to be on your own? Do you want to be part of Igbo nation? Yes or no? Simple. And Nioma the same thing, yes or no? And then the majority will carry the vote. What do I want? I want all Igbo people to be together. All Ijaw people to be together. In fact, I want Efik and Ibibia, because they're the same people, to be one. I will prefer a situation whereby Igede and the Doma are one. If they want to be separate, fine. If they want to be one, fine. Nobody is forcing anybody. But for the purposes of our referendum, and Nioma will be treated as a separate entity. So also will Ikwere. Then they decide where they want to belong. If they want to be a separate nation, wonderful. They want to be part of the Igbo nation, also wonderful.
So one more question before I bring in our brother Tenny. This is also from the grassroots. It's about our choice, or rather, can I say the choice for using Ejema as the currency. So the grassroots, they are curious as to why Ejema as the currency for Biafra. Ejema
is the currency because that was the currency of Biafra, used everywhere. If you go to, I think it's either Akwa Ibom or Cross River, Akwa Ibom. If you go to the logo of Akwa Ibom State, you will see Ejema there. So it was used widely. It's not an Igbo currency. It is a Biafran currency. And as I've said before, and I'll have this debate with anybody, anywhere, any day, everybody in the current East and their so-called Midwest, are all Igbo people. I can prove it to you with facts and figures. The thing is that the Fulanis did a lot of work on us. I don't know. It was started by the British. And because the Igbo people never wanted any conquest of anywhere. The reason why Yoruba is one was because the people of Oyo left Oyo and conquered the Ijebu people. Conquered Alajes that made them speak one language on Yoruba. In the north, the Hausas conquered other people to make them speak Hausa language. The reason why we're having this debate in the East is because the Igbo people never actually conquered anybody. And I find it quite funny that those that went on conquest and conquered other people are saying to people who did not conquer anybody that they are the ones who are domineering. It's just like that bombing Olo when bandits are in Zamfara. It's exactly the same thing. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. A Gemma was used across the entire East because we are one people. The people you have today in Izon, in Ejoland, are people that came from Arochukwu. Everybody is the same. And I keep saying to people, why don't we read? Why don't we just go to the library and Google something and start reading a book? Go and read a book. When the white man came, a white man could not distinguish between an Igbo man and an Ibibio man. Could not distinguish between an Igbo man and somebody from Anang. If you go to Google now, you write in Ibibio, the first two things you will see is Igbo, related to Igbo. You put in a jaw language, you put in a jaw in Google now, do it. It's a simple experiment. The next thing you will see a jaw related to Igbo. Yet we keep having this debate because the Fulanis have conditioned us to hate ourselves. And that is why we are all suffering. And it must come to an end. Thank you.
Imiete Soyi for that brilliant answer. I would like to bring in Mr. Tenny. Mr. Tenny, please, can you come in and ask your question? You've got 3 minutes. Thank you very much.
Okay. Omamadi K1, our great leader, I'm very happy to be in this forum. I'm from Okwani in Delta State. My name is Onya Ogochukwu. I'm from a native of Ashaka and Abe combined together in the same Okwani and Ndukwa.
Can you ask your question?
Yes. But before I go straight, because I have to introduce myself because my question goes by my clan. Because we the Okwani people, I'm a coordinator here in France. We the Okwani people, I used to speak to many of my people there, many of the union. Why are you people not supporting the Biafran struggle? I know we have a lot of people, but we still need a lot of the grassroots. But they always tell me one thing, that in Biafran map, we don't have Okwani as a clan or as a state or anything there. All what they have is Agbo, and they have Ugale, and we don't have anything Okwani. So how can we leave Nigeria and go to Biafra when our identity will be lost? I tell them that no, with Biafra we can still represent our own nationality, which is Okwani people. Now they turn it to Kwale, but we are Okwani. That is my question, our supreme leader.
Thank you, Mr. Tenny. I'm sure our leader will answer your question in a moment.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Yeah, I said that Okwani is just like somebody saying that Ongwa is a nation. This is a clan. Okwani is a clan. The maps you are seeing are the maps of provincial district headquarters, like Asaba, like Harbor. Even if you're flying on it's a good thing you're in France. Even if you're flying on a jet plane, and you see the map come up on the screen, they only put the names of places they feel that people know that are very prominent, say administrative headquarters, where people are used to. It doesn't disregard any other place. Ukwan is a clan. It is not a nation. And in this new Biafra, as I said before, everybody has a representation. Are people having fun in Nigeria? Why would even anybody, I will say, give me anything else apart from Nigeria, if I'm a human being. Why would even anybody Fulani are in your villages killing you, massacring you, taking your land, and you're still even contemplating if you are to leave that hopeless zoo or not? I find it shocking. Our people, they astonish me sometimes. Go and tell Ukwane people, not Kwale, not Ibusa. It is Igbo Binozo. Igbo Binozo. Igbo Uzo. Igbo Binozo. Ukwane. Ukuane. Not Kwale. All Igbo. I don't know. We are the only people that hate ourselves. I don't know what is wrong with us. I have no